Lovely.
What are you
tuning? I'm tuning up.
Ooh. Hi. I hope people are tuning in.
Up too.
Are they tuning in? Am I out of tune?
I don't think so.
This one's a little...
Maybe a little bit, yes.
That's quite lovely.
Shush, it's not that bad.
Perfect. Never insult a lady's G-string.
Why don't you pluck it?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Must be
Naturally.
Is it a Vixen show if we don't have an out-of-tune instrument?
At least this time
I'm taking that personally.
I am never out of tune. What are you talking about?
When we don't have Melody or Pandora.
My ukulele can never stay in tune. I would tune it at the top of the show, and then by the time I would play it in the show, it would be out of tune.
Well, especially if it's a rain day.
Yeah.
It's a rain day.
It's because our audience was so hot that they were just eating up the wood.
Exactly.
Wait, there it is.
Stretch.
Yes.
Oh, we do have an audience. Are we?
We do have an audience. They're saying yay. They're saying other things.
Other things?
They're appropriate things. Never.
I hope they're naughty.
That did sound naughty, and I did not mean.
Like the wood in the ukulele, just filled with
All right, my friends, lords, ladies, and all kind, noble friends. I am Brizo, and on behalf of the Vixens, we'd like to welcome you to our show. We are just about to begin, but before we do, we'd like to talk to you about
Audience participation.
We will be encouraging you to be loud.
And boisterous.
Let's show them how.
Right.
When we cue you thusly, you respond thusly.
Come on, people, let's make some noise!
No, wait. We can't hear them from here.
Oh, right.
Oh, I know. When we cue you thusly, you give us some love in the chat. I think it's over here.
Over there.
somewhere. Also, when we cue you thusly,
A cue card will be held aloft thusly.
And
You shout out what you see.
Only there will be words.
Sorry. If you know what I mean.
Now that little phrase added to the end of any sentence makes it sound naughty.
For example, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
If you know what I mean.
she runs a tight ship.
If you know what I mean.
The man in the moon.
If you know what I mean.
I think I know exactly what you mean. Lords and ladies.
And goodly gentles all.
do you want to hear?
Sassy jokes. Bossy innuendo.
Sexy swordswomen spouting Shakespeare. Do you want to see?
Dangerous beauties.
Deadly duels.
Daring damsels doing a damn fine job of kicking butt.
Do you want?
Smoking hot babes.
Smoking hot drama. Smoking hot vixen on vixen action.
You do realize that we were referring to dramatic scenes, right?
Right. Lords and ladies.
And all general ruffians.
Without further ado, we present to you
Buxom women.
Playing Shakespeare.
Buxom women.
Wielding weapons.
Buxom women.
Tempting fate. We are Vixens En Garde.
And the crowd goes wild.
Allow us to introduce the sexy Shakespeareans you see before you. We proudly introduce the scholar Athena,
the buccaneer, Brizo,
The Amazon Hippolyta.
The troubadour Melody.
The occultist Melanoe.
The wild child Pandora.
The pixie Persephone.
The knight Selene.
and the mermaid Thalassa. And together we are that band of babes with blades for hire, the Vixens En Garde.
So how came this bevy of deadly beauties to assemble, you might ask?
Well, we'd love to tell you, but then we'd have to kill you.
Suffice it to say that our unusual backgrounds,
Our outspoken ways.
our predilection for fighting, our habit of wearing tights,
And the general flaunting of our assets.
Make it quite impossible for us to fit into the mold of proper womanhood in this our Renaissance England.
So we did the only sensible thing that would enable us to drink, fight, and get laid.
Paid.
Get paid.
We became mercenaries.
Soon we were fast friends, formed the Vixens.
And have travelled together ever since in such an adventure.
Fame.
Fortune.
and work. Indeed, we are availing our sword skills to earn us some pieces of eight.
Apes.
Ackers.
Bread.
Drinks.
Lolly.
Dosh.
Dough. Doubloons.
Dinero.
Cha-ching!
Unfortunately, these are trying times, and since work is scarce,
We're skinned.
skint. We're broke.
So we thought to begin performing here and there to earn a little extra pence.
Moonlighting as actors.
You know, because that's a really stable line of work.
And so here we are, ready to present to you our show, which we shall show you William Shakespeare's naughty bits.
Will we really?
Is that decent?
How did you get your hands on his bits?
Do you have to ask?
Well, first I opened his pouch, then I slid my hand inside and just...
PG-13 rating.
Right.
We'll be performing some of Shakespeare's best bits. Intrigue.
Violence.
Romance.
And seeing as last week in London when we petitioned to be players at the Globe Theatre and a certain Mr. Henslow informed us that...
Women are not allowed to appear on the English stage.
We therefore
A stunning display of
bite me.
Shall not only flaunt the fact that we are wearing hose,
Hose?
Pose.
tights, we shall boldly...
Go where no man has gone before.
No.
Go west, young man.
No.
Go.
Fetch.
We shall boldly play all of the male roles.
And we'll be needing some help to play the female roles.
I'll figure something out.
Our entertainment for you today is...
Drum roll, please.
An escape from the doldrums.
A remembrance of brighter days. A deeply necessary diversion because we are all living in a mild yet persistent state of panic.
But we are English, and the English do not falter. We are known for our stalwart and steady forbearance.
Stiff upper lip.
If you know what I mean.
Even in the face of danger, we...
Keep calm and carry on.
when the days seem dark and the nights seem darker.
Keep calm and carry on.
When the going gets tough, the tough.
Keep going and carry on.
Not quite how that goes.
In the days of uncertainty.
Except the certainty that the grooves in your couch cushions shall keep getting deeper.
We turn to our leaders for support, answers, and hope.
And nowhere can a more stalwart and true leadership be found than sitting upon the English throne during the Middle Ages.
Shakespeare devoted a significant number of his plays to the various monarchs who have occupied the English throne throughout the ages, paying especial attention to the saga of succession leading up to the Wars of the Roses.
Now, we don't quite have time for all that, so why don't we just skip to the end of the story with everyone's favorite worst leader ever?
Richard the Third.
At the top of the play, Richard's family, the Yorks, have just beaten the Lancasters for the throne. Now, even though Richard killed King Henry the Fourth himself, gosh darn it, memory, killed King Henry the Sixth himself, he remains just a duke, while his eldest brother Edward, despite being sick, is crowned king.
Sucks to suck.
This brother wears the crown.
This brother is closest to the crown.
Cha-ching.
This brother wants the crown.
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Let's introduce the royal family. New King Edward is married to Queen Elizabeth, And they have 3 children. Princess Stella, Prince Joffrey, and Prince Tommen.
Family photo of...
Also at court is Richard's bestie, Lord Buckingham.
What up, my lords?
Everyone is celebrating the victory coronation.
Whatever.
Next, Richard famously begins the play with,
Now is the winter of our discontent.
Wait, what is that?
It's my hump.
a unicorn?
It's actually a Norwalicorn.
Oh.
Anyway, now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of a York. And all the clouds that have lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the oceans buried, now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths. Yeah. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak, piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, getting drunk on Dornish wine. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken babes, I am determined to prove a villain.
And villain he is. A most vile villain. A very villainous, vile villain.
Richard wants the crown, so he makes a hit list of everyone standing in his way.
Dun, dun, dun.
First up, his brother Eric.
Cha-ching!
Whom Richard frames for treason over some bogus psychic advice and gets him thrown into the Tower of London.
Not mean enough.
Locked in the Red Keep.
Not far enough.
Banished to the Wall.
Perfect.
It's a bit cold up there, isn't it?
Well, you know what they say. Winter of our discontent is coming.
I don't think that's actually what the line.
Thus, Clarence gets banished to the wall.
Hello, Buckingham.
Goodbye, Clarence.
That was invigorating, but something is still missing from my evil plan.
A secret lair?
No.
A sweet cape for your henchmen?
No.
A
Trophy wife.
word?
Yes. A high-born lady that can help solidify my claim to the Iron Throne.
What we need now is a Lady Anne.
Looking for someone regal, someone virtuous, someone really you.
Let's have a big round of applause for our Lady Anne.
But don't get too attached. You all know Arthur Douglas characters or the series finale of a beloved television show.
Now, there are just 2 things you need to play Lady Anne, and they are
A beautiful tiara.
It's all the rage in Westeros.
And a tragic pout.
when we cue you thusly, you respond thusly. Now, you try. Pero que bien lo hace, hombre.
What comes next is the famous wooing scene. Ooh.
Picture this. The late King Henry VI's funeral procession comes past, led by his daughter-in-law, Lady Anne. She is grieving both for the dead king and for her husband.
Both of whom were killed by Richard.
We discover Lady Anne eloquently cursing her husband's killer.
You mother of a... Oh,
PG-13 rating.
Maybe we should help him out with the actual lines.
Cue cards.
Oh, cue cards.
Right. Lady Anne Athena will hold up your cue cards with your lines from Act 1, Scene 2. You read them as spitefully as you like. Got it? Brilliant.
Excelente. We discover Lady Anne eloquently cursing her husband's killer.
Bleep that! Bleep and bleep!
We're paraphrasing just a little bit.
Fine perfection of a woman, sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
Bleep you!
Nice. Maybe some actual Shakespeare, though.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe divine perfection of a woman.
Didst not thou kill this king?
I grant ye.
Dost grant me, hedgehog?
That's the real line.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty that did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world so that I might sleep 1 hour in your sweet bosom. I did kill King Henry, but 'twas thy beauty that provoked me. Hashtag sorry not sorry. Bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
Don't have any more cue cards.
You could say something. No? Okay. He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
And just like that, Lady Anne becomes Richard's trophy wife.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thus, Richard whisks his bride away for a quick overnight stay,
Where they win big at Caesar's palace.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
And with that, Lady Anne's part in the play is pretty much done. So let's get some love in the chat for our Lady Anne.
Next,
And our hero, Prince Richard for a house there comes.
not yet.
Right.
Next, upon his return from London, Richard discovers that poor sick King Edward is sick.
Oh, Richard hates Queen Elizabeth and thinks she's common.
The world has grown so bad that wrens make prey where eagles dare not perch.
what? Oh,
He hates the fact that all of her relatives have been given royal titles.
Since every Jack became a gentleman, there's many a gentle person made Jack.
what? Again? To whom in all this presence speaks your grace?
To thee that hast nor honesty nor grace.
All right, that's it.
Just when things couldn't get any more tense, enter the late king's widow, Queen Margaret.
She is a Lancaster, so why she has been allowed to stay at the now Yorkish palace, no one knows.
She is old.
Possibly senile.
Most of all, she is bitter to the core.
Because her entire family has been slaughtered by the Yorks.
She famously curses everybody present.
Poor painted queen, the day will come when you will think you are safe and happy, and your joy will turn to ashes in your mouth. Die neither mother nor wife nor England's queen,
Have done thy charm, thou hateful withered hag.
and leave out thee. Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. Thy friends suspect for traitors while thou livest, and take deep traitors for thou dearest friends, thou elvish marked abortive rooting hog, thou loathed issue of thy father's loins, thou detested Richard. Live each of you the subjects of his hate, and he to yours, and all of you to God's. Margaret, out.
Yub dub, yub dub.
Meanwhile, back at the tower,
You mean the wall.
Richard's brother, Clarence.
Cha-ching!
Remember him? He's cold.
Brr,
Poor cold Clarence is cold
brr.
and about to be.
Much colder.
You mean dead?
Dead?
Dead, yes.
Oh, crap.
We discover him now asleep and waking from a terrible dream.
The night is dark and full of terrors. Oh, I have passed a miserable night, so full of ugly sights, of ghastly dreams. Methought that I had broken from the wall and was embarked across the narrow sea to King's Landing. And in my company, my brother, Richard, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked towards the Red Keep. Methought that Richard stumbled, and in falling struck me that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of Blackwater Bay.
Valar Morghulis!
Oh, hello. What was that?
Valar Morghulis!
What's that?
Oh, that's High Valyrian for all men must die.
Next, Richard checks his hit list.
Wait, hump me.
If you know what I mean.
Richard checks his hit list.
Brother number 1. Check.
Next, he thinks.
If only my other brother.
Sake King Edward.
Yes, if only my other brother would die.
Which he conveniently does.
Brother number 2. Check.
Richard is named the protector of the young princes
Oh,
who are newly heirs to the throne.
why don't you just go into the unknown?
Nah, Uncle Richard!
Damn it.
Since he isn't a great babysitter, Richard seizes his nephews and has them banished to the wall.
Hello, Buckingham.
Goodbye, princes.
Oh, now that was truly invigorating, but there is still something missing from my evil plan.
So, for good measure, he has Queen Elizabeth's relatives murdered.
Wait, at the reigns of Castor?
Rippers! Gray! Vaughan! Hastings! Red Wedding. Check.
Next,
And Richmond of Lancaster.
not yet.
Right.
Next, Richard and Buckingham stage a ridiculous farce to get Richard crowned king.
Right, so we need all of your help to play the citizens of London.
So, when I say who should be our king, you shout, Richard!
And audience, shout in the chat as well.
These emojis.
Let's try it, shall we?
Who should be our king?
Richard!
Buckingham now fires up the crowd.
We have gathered here today because we are a leaderless nation, and the Duke of Gloucester is our only hope. Who should be our king?
Richard!
Who, me? I'm too busy praying for the souls of the departed.
That was pretty good, but I don't think he heard us. Once more, even louder. Who should be our king?
Richard!
To me, I'm too busy grieving for my family.
No, really, he has great ideas. Tell us your great ideas, my lord.
I am not a crook. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I urge the Parliament to join me in mounting a major new effort to replace the discredited king. This is a great day for England. Sure, there are dishonest men in local government, but there are dishonest men in national government too.
Who should be our king?
Richard!
If you insist.
Thus, Richard is crowned king.
What happened? A whirlwind of villainous activity.
First, Richard has his nephews murdered.
Yeah!
Next, his wife, Lady Anne, is thrown out the moon door.
Yeah!
So that he may propose to his niece, Princess Marcella.
Yeah!
Then Buckingham, no longer vital to the plan, is also killed.
Yeah! What?
Thus, Buckingham gets banished to the wall.
Hello, Richard!
Goodbye, Buckingham. A Lancaster always pays his debts.
You know nothing, Jon Snow!
Next,
And our hero Richmond of House Lancaster. Yes?
yes,
Yes! Every villain must face a hero.
And in this case, we are, of course, referring to Richmond of House Lancaster, who is
Dashing.
Who is?
Brave.
And who is?
Ready to avenge his Lancastrian family and retake the throne with the help of 3 dragons, a bastard from the north, and a dwarf.
Is that what happens in the play?
No, but it should be. Audience, what do you think?
Thus, Richmond of House Lancaster challenges
King Richard of House York.
for the Iron Throne in a great battle.
There is much fighting, and many men fall on both sides.
The king enacts more wonders than a man, daring and opposite to every danger. His horse is slain, and all on foot he fights, seeking for Richmond in the throat of death.
A horse! My kingdom for a horse!
Withdraw, my lord.
Slave, I have set my life upon a cast, and I will stand the hazard of the die. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
And what do we say to the god of death?
not today.
Sure.
Lancastrian hero Richmond then marries the Yorkish Princess Elizabeth and is crowned King of the Seven Kingdoms.
Also known as Henry VII, thereby ending the Wars of the Roses.
And so ends the tragedy of Richard III.
Wow. What must it be like to live under a megalomaniacal despot with transparently self-serving interests and utter disregard for the rule of law?
And what do we do in the face of tyranny?
Keep calm and carry on.
Further escape from our dismal present, let us look even deeper into the past.
To the age of bread and circuses.
We're going to the circus?
Pan Ed Kirken says.
Panem, I thought we were going to the circus.
I volunteer as tribute.
Perfecto. Then you shall play the fearless leader in our next dose of diversion.
Coriolanus, anus, anus, anus.
Did we really just go there?
Yes, we did.
We often add reverb when announcing the title of the play.
Let's just get it all out of our system now, shall we?
Right.
On your mark, set, go.
Bottom.
Culo.
Buns,
Buttocks.
Breach, backside,
Booty.
Derriere.
bench warmer,
Feet warmer.
and warmer.
Nice.
Rump.
And,
Stuff.
and,
Junk in the trunk.
and,
Arse cheeks, can caboose, belly fundament, hams, haunches, hiney, hindquarters, keister, posterior, rear end, seat, tail, tushy, and, let us not forget, in the Latin, gluteus maximus.
Henceforth, there shall be no more mention of bottoms.
None.
we shall say Coriolanus with a straight face.
Without so much as a single allusion to
And that is the truth.
the whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Wait, yeah, stop. We must control ourselves. On with the play.
Right.
Coriolanus, zip it, was penned in 1607, right after a 14-month tear in which Shakespeare wrote King Lear, the Scottish play, and Antony and Cleopatra in quick succession.
It is the story of a brilliant general who has absolutely no people skills.
Best Shakespearean badass. Worst politician ever.
What he's really good at is
Killing people.
and
Winning.
What he hates more than anything is
Losers.
and
Whiners. His
Extremely hot.
arch enemy.
Tullus Ophidius.
Cue that bromance music. Bow chicka bow wow.
But we'll get to that later.
At the top of our story, the Roman citizens are revolting against the 1%.
Occupy Rome. Hooray!
The people are hungry.
Boo!
And angry with the Senate, the aristocracy, and our title character, Coriolanus.
Who isn't actually called that yet. For now, he's called Caius Marcius.
We'll meet him shortly, but first, the people are revolting.
You said it. They stink on ice.
We are revolting.
Yeah, like rechargeable batteries. Get it? Revolting.
Revolting, meaning taking up arms in protest of not having enough to eat.
Right.
You are resolved to die rather than to famish.
Resolved.
First, you know, Caius Marcius is chief enemy to the people.
We know it.
Let us kill him. We'll have corn at our own price as a verdict.
Hooray! No more talking on it, let it be done. I'm starving. Right. Consider what services he has done for his country. Waging our wars, conquering our enemies, single-handedly destroying the Death Star when all other X-Wing fighters were decimated. Wouldn't that matter?
Nah.
Besides, I'm starving. Oh, no.
Enter our hero, the great general Caius Marcius.
A great warrior.
Who lacks tact?
A handsome man.
With less self-reflection than Dracula.
A daring man.
So lacking in self-awareness, he is invisible to Zen Buddhists.
A manly man.
His fighting style is...
They get the picture. What's the matter, you dissentious rogues, that rubbing the poor rich of your opinion makes yourself scabs? You might want to get some lotion for that. You would bite the hand that feeds you.
You with the Roman patrician stating I'm the ravenous rabble. I'm like the walking dead. Oh, no.
What would you have, you curs?
You may have been our war hero yesterday, but today someone has to take the blame for it.
Fickle public. With every minute you do change your mind and call him noble that was your hate, him vile that was your garland. Go, get you home, you fragments.
That does it. The gloves are coming off. Down with the 1%.
Let me at him first.
No, me.
I'm the first citizen, so
I'm an entire mob. There's no stopping mob
I
mentality.
speak for the populace.
Oh, I'm the Lorax. I speak for the tree.
Could you please stop cutting me off? I can't see through these glasses.
I wouldn't have to if you were an effective advocate for the people.
Persephone, dear, this is where you, as Coriolanus, are confronted by Melanoe and I as the moon.
But this is so fun. The mob. I'm gonna make them an offer they can't refuse.
Where is Caius Marcius?
Here, what's the matter?
The news is, sir, the Volscians are in arms.
Our mortal enemies. Panic. Mayhem. Save us, General.
They have a leader, Tullus Ophidius.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
He is a lion that I am proud to hunt. Thou shalt see me once more strike at Tullus's face. Like this.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Oh, my hero.
Thus, despite his contempt for the rabble, our hero leads them into battle against the Volscians. He can't resist the opportunity to kick some ass.
He likes big butt and cannot lie.
Meanwhile, two jealous old and grumpy senators, Brutus and heckle from a balcony.
What was that we just saw?
It's called the medium sketch.
The medium sketch?
Yeah, it wasn't rare, and it certainly wasn't well done.
Then the senators plot the downfall of the mighty Caius Marcius.
Was ever a man so proud as is this Marcius?
He has no equal, but I'm tired of hearing his name. Marcius, Marcius, Marcius.
He's going down.
If you know what I mean.
And every great warrior is his bottom.
His mother.
His mother.
So what we need now is a
Volumnia.
The powerful
and opinionated
mother of our great general.
Hooray!
Looking for someone maternal, someone a little bit Bates Motel, someone really, really, you! Oh, hello! Let's give a big round of applause in the chat for our Volumnia.
Now, Volumnia, there are only two things you need in order to play our Mummy Dearest, and they are...
A costume!
Oh, yes. And a withering look.
So, when we cue you thusly, you respond thusly.
Let's give it a try, shall we?
Who here thinks that he is perfect to play our domineering mother?
Now, Volumnia, like all mothers, gives her son some very useful advice.
Don't forget to wear clean underwear.
Oh, good advice, Mother.
Look both ways before crossing the street.
Absolutely.
No wire hangers ever!
But... Yes, Mother.
Volumnia, you can relax at home awaiting your son's glorious return.
Yes, please have a seat.
We promise not to make you the butt of our jokes.
We were reared better than that.
How cheeky of you.
You crack me up.
I go there when there are other jokes to be made. An abundance.
Abundance?
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hon.
back to the play.
Right.
At the gates of Corioli, eager for a fight, Caius Marcius gives the Roman troops a pep talk.
Listen, you whiny little bleeps. There lies the gate we must take. Now put your shields before your hearts and fight with hearts more proof than shields. Advance. He that retires, I'll take him for a bulch, and he shall feel mine edge. On the count of three, yell charge. 1, 2, 3. Charge!
Live long and prosper.
What are you doing?
We are Vulcans.
No, that's Volscians, not Vulcans.
We must warn you. We have superior knowledge of the weaknesses of human anatomy, and will render you unconscious with our Vulcan neck pinch.
You're kidding.
Kidding?
A human interaction wherein one attempts to deceive another with a ruse that concludes with a humorous outcome.
Illogical.
So human. Fascinating.
Our minds are becoming one.
Become one with my fist.
The likelihood that our plan will succeed is less than 4.3%.
Acceptable. Deflector shields up.
Warp speed ahead.
Oh, what the hell? Engage!
He's dead, Jim.
And so ends the Battle of Corioli.
After decimating an entire platoon, single-handedly, our hero faces his arch enemy.
Tullus Ophidius.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Wherein these 3 hours, Tullus, alone I fought in your Corioli walls, and made what work I pleased. 'Tis not my blood wherein thou seest me masked.
Wert thou the Hector that was the whipped of your scaped progeny? Thou wouldst not scape me here.
In a display of raw, awesome manliness, the two go toe to toe with nothing but
manly swords
and
manly shields
and
manly bare-knuckled manpower.
Man, that's cool.
I'll fight with none but thee, for I do hate thee.
We hate alike. Fix thy foot.
Let the first butcher die, the other slave. Bro, your biceps look amazing when you do that.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm changing the way I train. Doing CrossFit now.
Awesome.
Dude.
Sweet.
Fist bump. Wait, we are mortal foes.
So we are.
Oh,
I win.
That's right. The decimation of the Volscian city of Corioli was so monumental, Caius Marcius was renamed Coriolanus in its honor. That's like as if, at the end of the Civil War, General Grant was renamed Ulysses S. Gettysburg.
Impresionante.
Back at home in Rome, a certain mother is very proud of her son.
The mob adores him.
Hooray!
the general is urged to run for consul.
Hooray!
He's not interested in politics.
Boo!
But his mother, Volumnia, insists.
Hooray!
So now, the general must appeal to the common people for their vote.
Due to his code of honor, Coriolanus will not exploit his military record for political gain and refuses to shake hands, kiss babies, or flat to the mob, preferring instead to speak honestly.
Because what will really work is being an honest politician, said no one ever.
At first, the common people agreed to give him their votes.
Hooray! But those two clever senators sway public opinion.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved it.
It was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
Hey, boo.
Boo!
Boo!
This drives the proud Coriolanus into a fury, and he speaks out intemperately against the very idea of popular rule.
You people suck.
Seizing on his words, the senators declare him a traitor to the Roman state and drive him into exile.
We banish you!
So Coriolanus goes to the only man he respects, his archenemy.
Tullus Ophidius.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Tell us, either kill me
No.
or let me join your army.
Yes.
And together we can...
Back Rome.
Dude.
Sweet.
Fist bump.
Know thou first, I love the maid I married. Never man sighed truer breath, but that I see thee here, thou noble thing. More dances my rapt heart than when I first my wedded mistress saw bestride my threshold.
Ditto, bro.
I have nightly since dreamt of encounters twixt thyself and me. We have been down together in my sleep, unbuckling helms, fisting each other's throats, and then wake half dead with nothing.
Oh my God.
We aren't even making this up.
Act 4, Scene 5, lines 122 to 126. Y'all can look it up.
Thus, the two warriors become allies.
This is like when the sworn enemies Batra and Mothra join forces against Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Mothra, except with a lot more homoeroticism.
And next, Coriolanus leads the Volscians to attack his former home.
Get 'em, boys.
Then the Romans sent emissaries to beg Coriolanus to stop them or to spare them. Isaac!
Nom nom.
Then they send out his mother, Volumnia, who grounds him into next week.
But I hate you, Mom.
Thus, Coriolanus is persuaded to sign a peace treaty with Rome. When he returns to Corioli to tell his BFF the news...
Bro, let me explain, my mom.
Phidias kills him.
Dude.
Not sweet.
I liked the last number.
What'd you like about it?
It was the last number.
And so ends the tragedy of Coriolanus.
Bottoms up.
I know that we are supposed to carry on, but these leadership styles aren't quite keeping me calm.
Agreed. I know that no conflict equals no drama, but maybe we could do a play about puppies and rainbows instead.
Ooh, Troilus and kitty cats?
Hamsterlet?
All's well that ends well?
It doesn't.
Oh.
That's just Shakespeare and Jill.
The man isn't super well known for his feel-good romps and ASMR vibes.
But he did write one play about the greatest leader of his generation, a man who rose up against impossible odds, throwing off the reputation of his youth in the face of grave danger and a desperate people to become the voice of a nation.
New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo.
No, Henry V!
One of Shakespeare's most masterful and moving works.
With some of the most memorable speeches highlighting what a real leader looks like.
In the first quarto, it was called
The Chronicle History of Henry V.
In the first folio,
The Life of Henry V.
However, we Vixens much prefer
Medieval Frenchy butt-kicking with Henry V.
Shakespeare wrote a whopping 1,031 lines for Henry, exceeded only by Richard II
1,151.
and Hamlet.
1,506.
Quite a bit more than the Scottish king, who only got 716.
There are 27,684 words in the play, which is
Far too many for the time that we have here, so we shall present only the best bits, which are, of course,
The famous lines!
This day is called the Feast of Crispy Chicken.
we few, we happy few, we band of brothels.
Once more, undo your breeches, dear friends, once more.
And let's not forget the fighting.
The Battle of Harfleur.
The Battle of Agincourt.
the Battle of the Leek, which isn't really a battle per se, more like fisticuffs between two minor characters over a common garden vegetable and, incidentally, the only onstage violence.
wait, in a manly play about war, Shakespeare only wrote one onstage fight
Yes.
with a leak.
Yes.
Brilliant!
But we are putting the proverbial cart before the horse.
Or the leap before the vichyssoise, as the case may be.
Yes, you're right though, Hippolyta. This is a manly play.
A manly war play.
The most famous manly war play ever penned by Shakespeare.
This play is so manly.
How manly is it?
This play is so manly that just reading it gives you a six-pack.
Play is so manly that the mere mention of it causes women worldwide to swoon.
This play is so manly that it can bench press 350 pounds without breaking a sweat and kick Marlowe Chamberlain butt any day of the week. Hiya!
The manly war play about manly men doing manful warrior things manfully.
In fact, with all this testosterone and band of buggering, brothering, and battling.
We'll be needing your help to play the manly men armies. Right.
If your birthday falls between January and the end of June, you are Team England. We Brits love a good battle, so when I salute, you point epically towards the camera and cry, "Charge!" Ready, Team England? Charge! Well done. Now tip your hat, pip pip, cheerio.
And if your birthday is from July through December, you are now the French army. So you must learn to speak in that most elegant and romantic of languages. When I raise my fist, you do the same and say, "Pamplemousse." Ready? Pamplemousse. Very nice, very nice. Now blow smoke in the direction of the camera.
Shakespeare begins to play with an eloquent appeal to the audience's imagination in the prologue.
Oh. For a moose on fire.
That can't be right, can it?
I shouldn't think so.
Try it again.
Oh. For a moose on fire.
Muse.
A muse on fire.
Of fire. Of, not on. The line is, oh, for a muse of fire. Shall I?
Right.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment. But pardon, gentles all, the flat, unraised spirits that have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France?
If you know what I mean.
Oh, pardon, and let us, ciphers to this great account, on your imaginary forces work. Admit me, chorus to this history, who, prologue-like, your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
We transport you back to medieval England.
Cheers! Yeah, the political situation is tense after a bitter civil war and the recent death of King Henry IV. His son, Hal, is crowned king.
Using Canterbury's explanation of Salic law as justification, new King Henry V lays claim to France.
Mine.
But the French Dauphin mocks Henry's authority by sending him tennis balls as a token of his idle youth.
Pamplemousse.
Fear not, good Englishmen. When we have matched our rackets to these balls,
If you know what I mean.
we will in France, by God's grace, play a set shall strike his father's crown into the hazard.
Infuriated, Henry rallies the English to launch an invasion of France.
Fast forward to Act 2 in Southampton.
Henry's former drinking buddies, Bardolph, Pistol, and Nim, lament the passing of Falstaff, who, incidentally, has died right after pledging sobriety.
Try and picture King Henry and his army of Brits, which include Bardolph, Pistol, and Nim, as well as leek-loving Welsh captain named Llewellyn, all riding up to the French castle gates.
Is this where we do the leak fight?
Not yet.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Who is it?
It is I, King Henry, and these are my knights, their captain, Llewellyn, and this is my chorus.
Hallelujah.
What castle is this?
This is Fleur.
Bless you. Go and ask your master to open the gates. We have been charged by God with a sacred quest to make me King of France.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. He's already got one, you see.
What?
He says he's already got one.
Are you sure he's got one?
Yes, the Dauphin of France, he's very nice. I told him we've already got one.
If you will not open the gates, we shall take your castle by force.
You don't threaten us, English pig dogs. Go and boil your bottoms, you son of a silly person. I blow my nose at you, so-called Henry King. You and all your silly English connivets.
What a strange person.
Now, look here, my good man.
I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal food trough whopper. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Is there someone else up there we could talk to?
No, now go away or I shall talk to you a second time.
Now, this is your last chance. I've been more than reasonable.
Eche la vache.
If you do not agree to my commands, then I shall...
Run away!
Forsooth, thou tauntest from the safety of thy walls. Come down and kiss my butt. I mean, our cold English steel. I dareth thee.
Prepare to die, English connivets.
So next, Henry rallies the troops and gives one of the most famous manly war speeches Shakespeare ever penned.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends. Once more. Or close up the war with our English dead. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood.
If you know what I mean.
Disguise fair nature with a hard-favoured rage. Cry for Harry, for England and St. George.
Is this where we do the leak fight?
Not yet.
This is the Battle of Harfleur.
Ready, Team England? Charge!
Pamplemousse!
The war rages on, leaving casualties on both sides, including a great number of Frenchmen.
Zut alors!
As well as Englishmen, including Bardolph and Nim, who are caught looting and hanged. Hanged!
Bollocks.
Well, Pistol, however, remains alive long enough for one last scene before he deserts.
Is this where we do the leak fight?
Yes.
Yay!
So let's get ready to rumble! In this corner, weighing in and impressive for a minor character, 62 lines, heavyweight insult champion, Pistol!
And in this corner, the undisputed champion of unintelligible accents, Welshman Llewellyn!
Ding ding! I beseech you heartily, scurvy, lousy knave, at my desires and my requests and my petitions to eat, look you, this leek, because, look you do not love it. I would desire you to eat it. Not for Cadwallader and all of his goats. There is one goat for you. Eat your victuals. Come, there's sauce for it. Bite, I pray you. By this leek, I will most horribly revenge. If you can mock a leek, you can eat a leek.
It is over!
Nothing like a good old-fashioned manly wrestling match to get you in the mood for a good old-fashioned manly war.
Noble audience, are you ready for the Battle of Agincourt?
Great, because you're all in it.
In particular, we need help to represent the French side
Pamplemousse!
and the English side.
Charge!
Oh, what excellent time! A big round of applause for our volunteers.
Oh, yes!
You two are the cannon fodder. Standard bearers.
So from here on out, when we rally the French and English armies, you wave your banners in support of your country. Let's try it, shall we?
Charge!
Pamplemousse!
Excellent. Agincourt on 3. 1, 2, 3, break!
King Henry had invaded Normandy with 10,000 men.
Huzzah!
But after the much longer than expected siege at Harfleur, he had lost almost half of his troops.
Oops.
So he hit the proverbial road, marching towards Calais, from whence they intended to sail back to England. However, the French raced ahead, thereby cutting off the retreating English at Agincourt.
Dun, dun, dun!
Alle dappy English candidates and Monsieur Henry King, who has the brain of a duck, wah wah, you know. So we French fellows out with you a second time.
Oh, bugger. Early on the morning of October 25th.
St. Crispin's Day.
6,000 English
Charge!
faced 30,000 French.
Forsooth, the odds of 5 to 1 do sucketh the big kahuna, yet verily, this maketh us all the more badass. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today who sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. And if anyone actually does survive the fight, think of the stories you can tell and the scars, stick scars.
The two armies faced one another across a muddy field.
Now listen, you tiresome, lean-witted frog pizzle. I command you in the name of, well, myself, to yield the French throne.
No chance, English bedwetting types. I call your throne yielding request a silly thing. You tiny brain wipers of other people's bottoms.
Pluck you.
Perhaps this might be a good time to explain the origins of giving the finger.
See, our shows are educational.
The French had threatened to punish all captured English by cutting off their middle fingers, without which it is impossible to draw the renowned English longbow.
Which is traditionally made from wood of the yew tree.
Yew tree?
Y-E-W, not Y-O-U.
So the act of drawing said longbow was referred to as plucking yew. After the battle, the triumphant Brits flaunted their still attached middle fingers by offering a two-digit salute and crying,
We can still pluck you.
Now, saying pluck you after a couple of pints is almost as difficult as pleasant mother pheasant plucker, so eventually the plosive p evolved into the labiodental fricative.
If you know what I mean.
Labiodental.
Back to the battle.
Right.
So Henry ordered his armies to advance to the narrowest part of the field. Eager for glory and a quick victory, the flower of chivalry charged in ahead of schedule.
Pamplemousse!
The English archers raised their longbows.
Say hello to my little friend.
Back it up! We back it up!
English army, shout pluck you with me when I fire. Ready?
Then loosed their arrows.
Pluck you! Run away! Run away!
Get it together, Talasa.
Talasa, it's you.
I know! The French cavalry! The French cavalry was decimated by Henry's bows, as were the next two waves of French men-at-arms, who were further slowed by the mud, the narrowness of the field, and their own dead and dying. So for 3 hours, the two armies clashed.
Bring on the siege weapons!
Due to budget cuts, the role of the siege weapons in tonight's performance will be played by our volunteers.
You there, Captain. Load that catapult. Fire!
You there!
Don Sock, that was good.
Load ma trebuchet! Fetchez le tube socks! Fire the missiles!
But I am a tired.
Well, then take a nap. And then fire the missiles! Oh!
Kiss my catapult, you cheese surrender monkeys! Fire!
Talk it to him.
After a squishy defeat by the English, the French yield Harfleur.
And so ends the Battle of Agincourt.
Oh, a round of applause and chat love for our valiant French and English soldiers.
After the battle, Henry broke his peace with the French, and he and Princess Catherine of France are wed, uniting the two countries in peace, prosperity, and love.
Never was there a more manly man myth than this, our play of King Henry V.
Know what? I feel a lot calmer.
Carrying. Carry on.
Let's have another big round of love for our volunteers. Thank you ever so much. Fair company. You have been an absolutely fabulous audience. If you'd like to stay in touch with us, you can follow us on all the social media, including the Book of Face. Tag us.
We loved performing for you, so if you loved watching us,
Please feel free to give us a big tip. If you know what I mean.
You can find us on PayPal and Venmo at Vixens En Garde.
And give us a little bit more love over in the chat.
So hope it's over here.
Thank you. You have been an absolute pleasure.
I'm Athena.
I'm Brizo.
I'm Hippolyta.
I am Melody.
I'm Melanoe.
I'm Pandora.
I'm Persephone.
I'm Selene.
I'm Talosa.
And we are Vixens En Garde.